Yes, sir. Welcome back to another episode of HBCU podcast, the show. Anything you want it to be. With your host, Hashim the Dream. You already know what it is. And my co host.
Good rising, good people. Bobby K here. What's happening? And honorary co-host slash editor.
Wale not well. What's popping, y'all?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good to have the three-man weave. You know what I'm saying? You know how we do. So, as you guys know, we've been doing the Prove It or Lose It series, and it's going crazy. You know what I'm saying? So we got another one here, and this one is courtesy of Mr. Wale. Wale, you say you got some cooking for us. This is
He's
a
cooking.
topic you wanted to do. Yeah, you looking a
I
little
do.
comfy. What you got? You know what I mean?
All right, I got something cooking that's not jollof rice. But
Oh
so
my
my proof
God.
to lose it is race swapping of fictional characters, and it has to
Ah,
stop.
has to stop.
It's time to stop!
It has to
Race
stop.
swapping of fictional characters.
I already
Yep.
know one current one that does immediately. Yeah,
Wait. Hold on.
Let him go in depth in it. Go
Yeah,
ahead. Go
please,
ahead.
yeah, please.
So me and Bobby had this talk too a while back about race swapping, and it kind of tied into the Little Mermaid situation. I'm on the side of not changing characters unnecessarily to another race. So meaning if they start off as black, don't make them white or Asian, or if they start off as white, don't make them black. Let's down a third. Because for me, I know why they're doing it. It's not to reinvigorate the character. It's not to make people feel represented. It's just a checkbox for diversity's sake. It's not something that's meaningful. It's not something of goodwill or good intentions. No, you just want to attract people to your product and all that, this, that, and the third. Make your money, and seem all, oh yeah, we see you guys. We're in the in crowd. Nah, not about that shit. Not about that shit. And then there's people. I'm not even gonna bring up a group of people, but
Damn.
let's just say
Nah,
that
we don't hold back on the podcast. Let's go.
I bet the white people. So
Damn.
some of them, they want to play devil's advocate, saying, "Oh, you don't understand. This is a great move. Oh, you racist." Well, first off, and this is like on the internet saying, "Oh, you just don't understand. You're being racist." I am black, sir or madam. I know exactly why I'm saying I don't want this. I'm not saying this. I don't want this for racist reasons. And first off, you motherfuckers, not all you, but some of y'all, listen, you stay in your lane, all right? Stay in your lane. We can speak for ourselves, okay? So when we have something in the case of, let's say, Ariel, the Little Mermaid, yeah, this represents us. We had this talk before. This is a good opportunity. It represents Black people, this, stand up third. And to me, I'm like, I don't see how this represents me. The
Whoa, wait.
argument is,
I don't.
We didn't say it represents us.
no,
We
not you,
were
not you,
speaking.
not
We
you.
were
Yeah, I
speaking
know.
in large because of
Yeah,
the
yeah. I'm
reaction
talking
of
people
a
in
lot of
large.
young Black people who saw the trailer and got excited because they was like, "Oh my God, Halle Bailey is playing Little Mermaid," and it's like, "Oh my God, it's like a Black female lead." And I said, and I will reiterate this point, and this is where we disagreed, is that the Little Mermaid itself was not a white character. It's a fish. It's a fish that's based off of Greek mythology. It's not a representation of a white girl. It's not, huh?
That's okay, Bobby.
No, I'm just saying though, like if we're gonna say something of that extent, let's make sure we're being honest about the whole scope. It's not a Becky, it's not a representation of a white girl. It's just a fair-skinned mermaid fish. So neither side should be thinking that it's a representation of their race or of their ethnicity just because of the skin tone or like the pigmentation of the damn fish. So either way, both sides to me was silly to me. I understood, but I understood it from the perspective of if there's young Black girls who are seeing similar to a Barbie, when young Black girls with getting Barbies, Black Barbie dolls. No, it's a doll, but again, when you're young and you're uh, a Black native of a certain descent, and you're not always categorized in the mainstream in a positive light and with positive figures and not just action figures, but I mean like
Mhm.
role those
Right.
figures and stuff. When you see people in that lane, especially in something as widespread as Little Mermaid, it hits different. And to be honest, too, like as three black men, we're not going to understand that level of representation to the same degree a black woman would. So we're not. It's not going to connect the same
The
anyway.
caveat to that is though, Bobby, the Barbie doll situation. Unless correct me if I'm wrong though, Barbie is not a singular character.
No.
Kinda. It's a
I mean,
line of
you had the main one, obviously, you know, Barbie, like blonde, you know.
yeah, but then they had other Barbies of different hair colors and what so on and so forth, or in costumes, and then they had the black Barbie. Like it didn't feel so much as a singular character rather than a collection of whatever it is Barbie's trying to represent. I can't even tell you. So that's different. So
Okay.
it brings me to this next one where take the recent Castlevania show, or there's Superman and Lois, or what else? What other the new Batman movie where they race out multiple characters, right? So for Batman, you had Commissioner Gordon. Now the argument people will say when race swapping is if the character is not prominent enough or a supporting character not as important, then it's okay. Commissioner Gordon is a case where that is not true. This man is ingrained in Batman's history to the T. You can't change that for whatever reason. And I said this before: if you're gonna race swap this character, this Gotham's a shitty place, right? And you would think there's some racism going on too, and you know how where Batman comes from that era too. So Commissioner Gordon, the character does not have a history of racism, prejudice, discrimination as a black man would. So don't say he represents me and it'll make us look good or make us feel included when he's just cruising along as a top commissioner, blah, 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 and saying it's for a healthy change or some shit. What happened, Hashim?
The thing that I have about the race swapping thing, like I don't really care about it. Because yeah, he might not be a prominent character. I'll use him as an example. He might not be a main character, but it's not like part of his identity, like his character itself.
I'm glad you said that. This brings me to another Batman character. Hold on. No, hold on. Lucius Fox. Anyone know who Lucius Fox is?
No.
See, now we all saw Dark Knight though, right?
I saw Dark Knight, yes.
You remember Morgan Freeman in it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He played Lucius Fox. Now that character is very important to Batman too. He's like a second Alfred. And he's been there from the beginning, helped building up Batman. And what did he start off as? A black man. But he was very obscure. He's not even on the same level as Alfred, like in the way he's portrayed in the media, like the levels of importance. It's mainly Bruce, Alfred, all the little Robins and Batgirls and all that shit. He'll rarely show up. Rarely.
And Joker.
Yeah. He'll show up here and there. Dark Knight is one of those rare instances where he will come up in prominence. Now, I would use that same excuse saying, oh, he's not important, so make him Asian. Let's have an Asian man play Lucius Fox. Because they don't emphasize his blackness as his character. Change it. But I guarantee you no black person say that was a good move or that was nice.
I mean, no, but the thing is, if they could act and they performed the role well, then I don't think with it. It's
My thing is, I feel like I get what Wale's trying to say.
Wait,
but
Bobby, hold on one sec. But Hashim, that same thing, they'll say that every time. If they can act, they've said that so far when it is a black person playing a figure who is black or Asian or something, when they race up to a black person. I dare someone to say that same shit if the same character I mentioned is changed to someone who can act who is white or Asian, so on and so forth. I call bullshit that they'll keep that same energy.
It's not big enough. It's not like Black Panther and you have a white dude playing Black Panther.
Like that's gonna be crazy. Especially because especially I'm glad Hashim said that, considering because I think we mentioned this on a lost episode of Black Panther, lost content. That's frustrating. But I think we mentioned when we was talking in that discussion, reviewing the second Black Panther movie, about the idea of Black Panther is a Black-centric, Africanized-centric theme. The Wakanda and everything. Yes, it's a fictional place, but their accents, their tribalism, everything about them screams African culture.
Or their character.
Right, exactly. So, like you just said, Hashim, Imagine a white dude. Imagine Ryan Seacrest or Ryan Gosling or somebody of that note playing Chadwick Boseman's
That-
character, playing
that-
T'Challa. Like that would be
That's what
crazy.
I'd be like, yeah, wow.
Exactly. It will be so much pushback off of that because that is a lead character. That is the lead character. Now,
if Shuri was, if at the time, say Wakanda Forever didn't exist, if Shuri was replaced and he had an adopted sister that was white, would that be okay?
an adopted sister?
It could be adopted or a mixed child, like girl who had a white father or a white mother.
No, but again, it wouldn't make sense because of the theme of the entire film. It's not even just about a singular character. The whole film is centered around African culture and Africanized characters, African descent characters. So it doesn't make sense to have a European looking person as one of the people that's part of the tribe or has a spear. That's going to look crazy because it is there's no connection there.
I'm glad you said that too, because in the case of Witcher and in some case, what was the other one? I think Rings of Power. There's another show too.
Hold on. Here's where you're losing both of us. Why you're losing this argument? You're referencing a lot of shows or movies or whatever that we haven't seen, or at least I haven't seen. So I can't.
No, you don't have to see it. I'm just making the case of the setting.
Okay.
But these settings are of European setting.
Okay.
And yet you'll see a lot of prominent figures, both prominent inside, race swap with a lot of different races that should not be there.
Okay, Hashim.
It's we have like you see a black person in like Game of Thrones where it's probably set in like the BC, not BC, but like old, like
medieval times.
BC is drag, bro. BC.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Take House of Dragons.
Yeah, but like we understand that because we'd be like, yeah, that would not happen, but it's entertainment purposes.
But they still do it.
Huh? Yeah, they still do it. Yeah.
But hold on, too, Hashim, though, like the race swapping issue, if we're going to be really realistic, is mainly about when white people are playing other characters that is outside of white people. Like we've seen white people play Aztec warriors that represent Native American culture. We've seen white people do blackface and dress up as black characters. We've seen white people.
Johansson thing?
Oh, I heard. Yeah, go ahead. Speak on that. Yeah.
Like there's like a meme. It was like, oh yeah, we need an Asian actor for this film. Oh, let's just get Scarlett Johansson.
Bro, I think this is what I'm saying. The race baiting, the race swapping thing that you're talking about is mainly happened with white actors and actresses doing it. Let's be complete. If we're gonna be honest, let's be completely honest. It's mainly them that's doing that. It doesn't happen as often outside of that realm of white.
Wait, repeat that again.
The race swapping that you're referencing mainly happens when it's a white actor or actress that is playing a character outside of a European descent character. So it's a white person that's playing a black person or a native or an Asian or something that's completely out of the realm of European descent. That is
where have you seen that in recent times? And if so, well, do you think that's not? I'm not saying that's okay either. Why? That's another thing. I'm not saying we should.
No, I'm not saying that you. No, I know. What I'm saying is I feel like the race swapping issue that you're discussing is mainly on that front, more so than any other. Like I don't see black characters cosplaying as Mexican characters or cosplaying as an Asian character or
no. There's mad black people. Listen, you're forgetting that anime crowd. They cosplay a lot of Asian based characters. All right,
yeah.
But anime is based
in Marvel characters too. Go ahead.
But anime is based in Asian culture, so they have to. If you're gonna be a voiceover for an anime character, you have to.
No, cosplaying. They cosplay is what I'm saying. Or when there's an adaptation, so and so character will be replaced with this day and age a black person or some other race they're not supposed to be.
Go ahead, Ashing. You gonna say something?
Yeah, I was gonna say it same thing I've been saying. As long as it's not essential to the character, like say if there's Static Shock for the people that have watched Static Shock, right? He goes through like stuff that a black person would go through, like racism. And imagine if they would cast him as like not a minority, well, there's only one white person, right?
Okay, then I was like, what's not a minority?
They can't depict that same effect to that extent. So Little Mermaid, they're mermaids.
Forget
So
Little Mermaid. Forget Little Mermaid.
but that's an example though. That's
Okay.
the
All right, so I got a question for y'all. I got a question for y'all then. So since we're talking about people playing characters outside of themselves, essentially, or outside of their cultures, let me ask this. This is a controversial one too. How do y'all feel about a straight character or a straight person playing a straight character or whatever playing as a gay or trans character, or or the opposite?
I don't have a problem with that. The problem I would have if they make a straight character gay in the TV show, because
But that
part of
happens a lot though.
I
Do you
know,
think
but
every gay character that's in a movie or show is actually in that community? No,
no,
they're not.
I'm talking about the character itself. I can't think of it right now, but the character itself is not like in that relationship with like another guy or a girl on girl, but they make it like that.
Yeah, I have a problem with that too.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Like, can you explain? What do you mean by that?
Peter Parker likes Mary Jane, right? He likes women. He is historically straight. Now, they say they make another movie. Peter Parker is suddenly bisexual or gay.
Yeah, Mary Jane's a guy. Mary Jane's a guy. It's Martin Jane now. So that type of thing.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
I'd be like, yeah, that's you're not sticking with the script, and that's only because it's a big part of the show. You're not sticking with the script because the love thing. He's always trying to save Mary Jane. Now he's trying to save Martin Jane. Like that's kind of crazy. Like that's completely off the original story.
And what would be the purpose of changing the character from Mary to Martin in the first place anyway? That's not part of the story.
To be inclusive, to be
no.
I'm giving you the fabricated answers.
Okay, it's a rhetorical question, right?
Yeah, that's why. Yeah.
And I'm giving you the usual answers you'll hear to that rhetorical question.
Like if it was like that in the actual like comic books or the original story, okay, like that's Ori would.
Hashim, that's what I'm saying. If it has an establishment to a character in whatever piece of media, comic book, novel, so on and so forth, do not change it. Because listen, look, people will say, like I said, this goes back to the argument. If the character was not important enough or obscure, no one knew them. No one knew the character I just stated. No one knows the character in Superman Lois, Bruno Moenheim, who's now a black character, but first off, he's a crime boss. So putting a black man as a crime boss, sounds a little problematic to me. But
how is that problematic?
What?
How is a crime boss as a black man problematic?
I was being sarcastic, but in a way, it's like the argument could be said that this doesn't put a black man in a good light, right? It's always in roles where it's not a dignified role, and I would think in this character,
it depends on how the character is played and the purpose of the character. So, like, of course, we've seen plenty of hood movies or even not hood movies where it's black people who are in the roles of criminals, who are bank robbers, killers, drug dealers, all that type of stuff, right? And does that stick and that trope get tiring? Of fucking course. It's ridiculous to think that so many movies, especially that came out in the 90s and even the 2000s, was just black figures playing those type of characters. But if you can tell a story with that being that case, it can still be an enjoyable film. It can still be an enjoyable show. Now, should that be the only representation of black people in those type of roles? No. But if you can get Denzel to play a crime boss, or you can get him to play what he did in Training Day, why the fuck not?
I'm just saying. These are just some straw man arguments for why the race swapping is okay in some people's eyes. I don't think
it's okay, but what I'm saying is there's nuance to what we're talking about with the race swapping. And again, the race swapping, if we're talking about the definition of the word, right, which is a person that is playing outside of themselves, outside of what their natural race is, that is a most prominent thing when white people are doing it outside of their culture. Am I bucking?
I'm talking about the concept of race swapping characters, though.
I'm gonna say
That's fair.
think about through the perspective of the actors and actresses, because they're the ones that obviously taking the jobs. It's more opportunities for them, right?
But that
Especially
doesn't
for
mean you have to take every opportunity that's given to you.
no, right? But if you're a minority and you don't have a start, and it's like, oh, can you play this character? Like, yeah, they usually Harry Potter is a good example because they race swap all the time. Characters usually like white, but you're Asian, but you can still play a character. You can act well, and it's not like that big of a deal.
Do
Like
you think
nobody.
that affects the story?
What you say, Bobby?
Do you think that would affect the story in
Didn't
Harry
affect the story at all. It
Wait,
wasn't a main character.
but Hashim, didn't you just say, or Bobby, didn't you bring it up about a question about a straight person playing a gay character and vice versa?
Yes.
Why would you have a straight actor play a gay person when a gay person can act out that character since they actually are that identity?
Wait, say
If,
again?
if
Why would you have a? Is it okay? I would think having a straight actor play a gay person when there's a plenty of actors who are gay can perfectly play that role and get their time to shine and perfectly represent that character.
The reason why.
No, but if the actor is better than the actual person that is
But
gay,
are they doing enough work? I can easily say that just haven't looked at enough auditions. There has to be someone who can perfectly. I know there's an actor that can act out this character that was established with these characteristics: gay, straight, black, whatever. Do the work.
Hashim, you kind of lost me there too because I'm not going to hold you.
But you won't know the person is gay just by looking at them.
Of course not. But would
you're just gonna say, oh, this person's a great actor. He turns out to be straight. Oh, damn! Like that's crazy. I wouldn't even know.
Do a casting call. You have a casting call of requirements.
Facts.
The requirement's not gonna have your sexuality on there.
Yeah, how do you know in this day and age?
Yes, they do.
Bro,
yes, they would.
Jobs actually what's my sexual orientation. Why would a casting call not have that?
Relax, take it easy.
Brother, if I have a script, right? If I wrote a script, right, and I said, okay, I want a white dad, I want a black neighbor, and I want a transsexual, right? These are the three specific main characters of what I'm doing. Why would I not make sure that the transsexual person is actually transsexual? You think I'm going to have a straight person or a person that
happens all the time?
Okay, but that's the problem, though.
That's the problem.
It is pushback every time they do something like that.
But if a transsexual person can't act, and you have it's down to two people, right?
Okay.
One's a good actor, and straight, and one's not as good, but transsexual. You go pick a transsexual person just because they're transsexual.
I would continue the casting call to find the appropriate actor.
Or I would just cut the character.
Y'all crazy, bro.
What do you mean?
You're not casting actors.
Bro, you telling me you're gonna miscast a whole demographic because you want a person that's good at acting? There's a lot of people who are good at acting, but if
Bobby, you're a stickler for actors and actresses in
of course
shows. So if somebody hired 50 Cent to play some sophisticated role that 50 Cent can't play, you're gonna be happy.
He can't play that though. That's complete. No.
Put 50 Cent in Game of Thrones. Put 50 in Game of Thrones. You'll be content with that? I don't think so.
I don't watch Game of Thrones, so he could kill all them niggas. As I was concerned. But listen, I get what you're saying, but what you're saying is completely different from what we just said. You're talking about 50 Cent, the person that we know as an actor, playing a sophisticated role. What's a sophisticated role? Or you talking about a person with
a role that's not in his role? There's each actor or actress is gonna have a role that's.
So you're talking about typecasting. Okay, so you're talking about typecasting. That's completely different from if you ask 50 Cent to play a gay character. Those are two separate things. I can get 50 Cent to play a sophisticated character if he feels like he could channel that. He can't channel being a gay character because he's not a gay person. That's not the same thing.
So now bet. Hold on, Hashim. Let's keep this. Let's bring this back to the race swapping thing, right? All right, let's bet. Hold on. Think of Leonardo DiCaprio, right?
Okay.
Or Robert Downey Jr. both high-level actors, right?
Mhm.
Mhm.
Let's say there was a casting call for, say, let's see, let me think.
Robert Downey Jr., by the way, in Tropic Thunder played as a black
Yes, I
character.
know.
But
I know.
that was the character. It's supposed to be
Right.
obviously.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Let's say, what is a character who's, let's say, black, and their role does not have to be black. That's not prominent. Let me think. Let me think on this. Pretty sure Law and Order has some black characters, but not dependent on being black or some shit.
That's Law and Order. Oh my god! I watch Law and Order go to sleep.
Well, you think Law and Order is boring?
Doom doom.
No. That's time for another day. Time for another day. All right. Time for another day.
Oh,
Hold
you
on.
messed up. You know you done fucked up, right?
Hold on.
You
Time for
done
another
fucked
day.
up.
But all right, look, I can't think of a role right now, but say that there was a casting call for a character who has to be black, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, Leonardo DiCaprio, we know the motherfucking act, wants to audition for the role.
Mhm.
He beats out every black man that's there in space.
Okay.
Just them. Who are you casting? Are you casting Leonardo DiCaprio? Or are you going to cast the inferior actors that are black?
I'm casting Leo in a completely different role.
That's one good answer. That's one answer.
It really depends on the role of what the black person would have to do. Like if it's something, no, listen. If it's something like Atlanta, I can't cast Leonardo DiCaprio.
He would not fit in that environment at all.
No. Hobbs from fucking Fast and Furious, because like that character's black and it doesn't really fit the character. Doesn't really matter.
Yeah. If Leonardo DiCaprio was black as hell, I would cast him.
And the casting says the character has to be black?
Yeah, I'll still cast him because there's nothing
you're
defining
wild.
why.
What
the fuck are you out of your damn mind? Nothing
What?
defining why Hobbs has to be black.
Brother,
There's nothing that shows that
what
says,
is the point of putting descriptions on a role in terms of age range, demographic of how they're featured, tall? What is the point of that if you're going to?
You know what, Bobby? I got something. Let me think of how she's supposed to. All right, so let me clear this up though, because I said Hobbs. All right, I'm thinking of the first casting call because let's just say the first description of this character doesn't say black, but now Fast and Furious is an established franchise. Hobbs' character is defined. We know what he looks like now.
Yes.
Now say there's a reboot or another or an adaptation like an anime or cartoon or something.
Or a spinoff. A spinoff.
Yeah, and Hobbs is now white. Would that be okay?
Different.
Fuck no.
That's different. That'll just be upsetting.
It's not different because it happens all the time. It happens all the time now. It's not different.
What's the difference, Hashim? It's the same thing. What's the difference?
It's not, because one's already established. It has like 10 movies, and then you just have, The Rock's not in there anymore. It's already an established film.
No.
Think about My Wife and Kids. Think about My Wife and Kids. Although, no, was it My Wife and Kids?
Brother. Commissioner Gordon has been an established character since the 40s. And now they made a Batman movie.
This movie in the 40s, bro.
Who cares? It's decades long. And there's cartoons of how he looks like.
The thing was black and white in the 40s, bro. They didn't even know.
Who cares, bro? Who cares?
Wait, time out. Let me reel this back in.
I'll just say this last thing. There's certain roles that needs to be specified for a race that race swapping wouldn't be like what are you doing? Like why? And then certain roles where you can. That's my perspective. But go ahead, Bob.
My issue with what you're saying, Hashim, is like even if you say, one's established, one is the original version. Either way, even with the original version, if when I make a script as a director, as a writer, I have a vision of each character. Each character has a certain identity. Each character has a certain identity. Each character has a certain description. And when you cast these characters, they have descriptions lined up. They say, this is the race you need. This is the age range you need to play. This is how tall you might have to be. This is you have to have blonde hair, black hair, afro. They give you all of these descriptions when they do a casting call. Why? Because they have an identity of what they want you to look like for the film or the show to work. So what is the point of having that if you're just going to cast a person who's the best actor or actress, but does not identify with none of the descriptions? That's terrible. That makes no sense.
Here's one last example. Think of Aunt Viv, right? She
Okay.
obviously changed through.
They're both black though.
They're not the same color.
Okay, but
That's
one.
different.
Okay,
Obviously
that's two.
different.
But one
Why couldn't
that
they find
got pushed.
another mom to play the role?
One that got a lot of pushback because people didn't like that. Two, it got pushed back because the second Aunt Viv, respectfully, was not as good of an actress as the first one. If we're being honest, respectfully.
Yeah, but
Also,
you still watch the show?
Yes.
Did you have a big problem with it?
I did. In terms of her character, yes. Her character, I didn't like her character those last 3 seasons because she was.
I just felt the change was off. I just broke my immersion into the whole show.
If she was a different light-skinned black mom, yeah, I wouldn't have liked the fact that they replaced her with someone else.
What if the second actress is better than the first?
I still wouldn't like.
To me, it's still gonna break the image up for me.
You watch My Wife and Kids?
Of course.
Claire, the second Claire was better than the first? At that
for the show, yes, she
for
was.
that particular role?
Yeah, for the show.
Did you have a problem with that? Because they look different as well.
Because I feel like the reason why it's not the same thing as the Aunt Viv situation is because I feel like the second Claire, I think Jennifer Freeman has a real name, she fit the show better. The first Claire, she was just kind of like she was like kind of like rebellious, but not really. The second one was dumb. She was, you know what I'm saying? She had more of a chemistry and a set identity for what the show needed. You know what I'm saying?
Was she different complexion though? Because I don't remember.
Yeah, she was whiter. Yes.
So,
the first one was dark.
So to be honest, like regardless if you say she fits better, it's the character was defined as originally dark skinned. So it's like that's still immersion breaking to me.
But here's the thing though.
That's what I'm saying. I was trying to go through that direction. Go ahead.
I understand what you're saying, but it's two different situations still anyway, because the reason why the first Claire was removed was because her mom removed her because they didn't like how her character was going to be within the show. So then they just replaced her with whoever was the thing. And to be honest, if you look at My Wife and Kids, you look at Jay and Mike, Damon Wayans and Tisha Campbell's characters, and you look at the kids, they're all relatively lighter than the first Claire. So it already looked weird compared to the second Claire as well.
I mean, that happens every day, bro.
I don't know. I don't see too many I know it's a thing, but I usually see people with their families, like immediate families, they all have the like similar skin tone. But regardless, though, it's still two different situations. The first one, they could have easily remodeled another Aunt Viv that was a dark-skinned character, but that is a whole different situation when it comes to like colorism or whatnot.
But they didn't.
But that's not race swapping.
That's not race swapping.
That's a colorism topic. That's not race swapping. That's not the same thing.
No, Wally, don't agree with her.
That's not the same thing. It's not a white woman. It was still a black woman. She was lighter.
But the original cast was probably like, oh, we want a dark-skinned woman for this role because that's what Aunt Viv was. That's what you anticipate would it be.
But was her character needed to be dark-skinned or just be a black mom?
But that's what I'm saying. Like you don't man.
No. I'm confused on how it's the same thing as race swapping. It's still. I'm not saying it's okay. I'm not saying
at that sense, it's like, oh, does this person have to be white or do they have to be a good actor or actress?
That's not the same thing as the Aunt Viv situation, though, bro. That's my point. You're talking about a white person playing a black character. I'm talking about a person that was dark-skinned, a black mom, to now a light-skinned tone person, but it's still a black mom. I'm not saying it's okay, but it's apples and oranges. It's not the same thing as if I got freaking Scarlett Johansson as Aunt Viv.
I think we got our next topic or something that's down the line. But real quick, just bring it back to the race swapping thing. So last quick question. Would y'all be okay if Blade was casted as someone who's not black?
Blade?
Nah.
Yes.
It's too iconic now, bro.
No.
No. Don't give me that bullshit.
Too iconic.
Would you be okay? Would you be okay if this motherfucker was replaced as a white man or Asian or Mexican, so on and so forth?
But is Blade character synonymous with having to be a black man though?
I mean, look, he's established as a black man. Look, in his whole role,
but is it synonymous with him being a black man?
To me,
I don't know if he is.
He started off as black. He started off as black.
He started off as black, yes, but what I'm saying is the identity of Blade him being a black man, or is it just played by a black man? That's my point. That's my question.
Listen, I just know that when the character is made, he was made as a black man whose mom was a prostitute who got frisky with a ashy ass demon. And yeah, so yes, his black background doesn't hold credits to his whole character, but it's still not okay to replace him with a non-black character, or actor, or character, whatever.
I'm not saying it's okay. Me and Hashim, I think we might just not. I don't know if we agree on this, but I'm not saying that's okay either. Again, I'm just asking: go back to
it's not Bobby. It's not. So is it okay? Should it be done?
Let me ask the audience, for everyone who sees this, for this race swapping issue. Here's the real main question: is the original identity of the character played into by whatever their race is from who the person is, or is the identity of the character their personality or the theme of who they are? Because if it's not, oh, this person is a black character, then technically it can be played by anybody. But if it's established as a black character, like Aunt Viv, if it's replaced by an Asian or white woman, yes, that's going to be fucking crazy.
It is, no matter what you say, Blade was started off as a black man. He's established as a black character. His background does not play forward in your face role like Black Panther and shit. But
it could be subtle. It don't have to be in your face. It could be subtle.
I mean, the main
listen. Of all the times
in the sunlight, that's
of all the times I've watched Blade, nothing about maybe his slang or like his swagger, his like maybe, but nothing says, oh yeah, black man. No, it just happens to be black. But at the same time, it's like, okay, we got.
Well, I'm not surprised you say that. You're the same type that thinks James Bond should solely be a white man.
Yes, because he's established that he started off. The character's written down, established as so and so.
But the thing is that for James Bond, it's 007, right? 007 is just a name they give.
It's an agent. It's a federal agent.
No. 007 is his agent designated number, but the character James Bond is still that.
And what James about Bond, his identity makes him solely a white man?
No, the way they was the way they was
the
way they was spin is just like it's 007. The name's gonna be different.
You know what? No. You know what? Y'all keep that same energy. If Blade comes up as a white guy, I don't want to hear shit from y'all. I want to hear shit from nobody.
Say he should come up as a white guy.
Shut up. And if James Bond is black, fine. I still am against both. I'm just letting it be clear. I'm a stickler for original, established. I don't want any of this race swapping bullshit. If you need to find your representation, whatever the fuck it is, write your own fucking character. Do your job as a story writer and reinvigorate the character and put effort and passion into the fucking writing. Stop all this bullshit.
My last thoughts for end the video. If you had the opportunity to act in a show as notoriously a white character, are you gonna take it?
Me personally?
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't know.
They offer you $1 million.
They offer me what?
Nah, that's Smirk right there. Just told me this. Yep.
Wait, no. Offer what? I didn't hear a question. I didn't hear a question.
They offer you $500 million to play this role, but it's usually
$500 million.
Yeah, they need it.
I'm not an actor though.
Huh? I would say if you were, like, you put yourself in perspective.
I bet. So I'll take the money and say this was a mistake, but blame them. I got my money. Bye. Peace.
Brother, you get out the ass.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Wait, hold on. Before we hold on. So Hashim, based off of Wale's argument and his counterpoints and everything, do you think he proves his point about race swapping being a major issue and his thoughts on it, or should he lose it?
I see his perspective. I think for certain characters, yes. For certain, no. So it's like 50-50. Did you prove your point? I think you had some good arguments. I can't say we completely like, debunked your theory, but or not theory, but your point of view. But I think it's 50-50. You didn't win, you didn't lose. That's
damn. He did a draw. Damn.
Yeah.
Soccer shit. That's crazy. I think that you proved your in terms of like, yes, like it is an issue, and we can all acknowledge that it's an issue, especially when it's Black characters being played out of their role. I do think you should lose though the idea of things not being able to change if the identity of the character is not based on their race or based on specific demographic. Because
Hey, when we get a white blade, I'm not hearing shit. Okay.
I'm gonna repeat this one last time. I'm not saying we should get a white blade. I'm not saying we should get a Black James Bond. What I'm asking, all I'm asking, the audience can answer for us, is the identity of those characters what their race is or who they are within the realm of the story. That part, I think you should lose it, brother.
Hashim, you still on your whole sexual orientation shit. You were inconsistent there. I don't want to see that. Don't do that.
How was he inconsistent? Oh yeah, you wasn't. Yeah.
No,
you should lose that too, brother. Because you cost me there.
No, I'm not inconsistent. I just said sometimes it depends on the character, and if it's able to, it's the same thing with race. But anyway, let's close it up before these guys start arguing and team up against me again. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you follow us on Instagram.
Follow the dog?
Huh? All right. No, continue. Wrap it up. No. Wrap it up.
Thank you guys for watching. If you want to be a special guest, let us know. Follow us on our individual social medias. And thank you guys. Peace.